I'm Jenny Tomasino, and I will be covering valence-decreasing operations. On a side note, I may have put too much information in my slides, so I probably won't be able to specify on everything. What is valence? Well, there are two types, which can be studied either separately or together. There is semantic valence, the number of participants in an event normally expressed by a verb, or grammatical valence, the number of arguments present in any given clause. An argument is a noun or determiner phrase that has a grammatical relation to something else. These can be categorized by grammatical relation and or semantic roles as seen in the table below. Furthermore, a valence, there are different types according to the number of arguments in the clause. There's avalent, which has 0 arguments. As you can see, it doesn't actually stand for anything in the example. There is intransitive, which has 1 argument. Oh, by the way, everything highlighted in blue is an argument. So intransitive has 1 argument, which is the boy. Transitive has 2 arguments, which is the boy and his mom. And ditransitive has 3 arguments, the student, her backpack, and notebooks. Any valency higher than that is possible, but less common. In this one, it's Jerome, Sam, his Pikachu, and their Charmander. The main focus now is valence-decreasing operations, which can be done by either removing an argument or demoting a former core argument to an oblique. In the diagram to the right, I've shown that this is mostly done by the transitive subject being demoted to an oblique or the object being demoted to an oblique. The first one, passivization. This is done by either removing the transitive subject or demoting it to an oblique. This also causes the former object to be promoted to an intransitive subject. In the examples below, each one shows each method of the passivization. The first one is the switch to oblique, and the second one is the removal of the transitive subject entirely. An oblique can be identified usually by the additional add position in front of the former transitive subject, which has now become, never mind. Here's another example from Kalam Kohistani. In this one, you can see that there is a passive suffix, j, which is added to the verb that causes the passivization to occur. This leads to the transitive subject, murad, to become an oblique, which causes also the object to become an intransitive subject. Second is anti-passivization. This is a demotion of the object to an oblique. This also causes the demotion of the demotion of transitive subject to an intransitive subject. This most often occurs in ergative absolutive languages. It does require morphological marking on the verb, and it can be done in English, but it's not a genuine anti-passive. As you can see, the remote, which is the object, gains an add position before it to make an oblique. Here's another example from upik. In this one, the verb gains an intransitive suffix u that causes the anti-passivization, as the object meet also gains its own suffix that creates it, that causes it to become intransitive and therefore an oblique. The third one, noun incorporation. This is done by the demotion of an object by attaching the noun to the verb. This is featured in polysynthetic languages. This is possible in English, but it's mostly limited to lexicalized expressions. In English, the incorporation can be done through the object or through the transitive subject. On the right, I've also included what the sentences may have been before they were incorporated. As you can see, the incorporation causes the verb to become specified. Genuine noun incorporation has an argument attached to the verb to make an intransitive verb. Object incorporations are most common and they appear in many parts of the world. In this example from Chukchi, um, it is an object incorporation, which shows that the object becomes attached to the verb set, creating an incorporation. And lastly, there is middle voice, which is a promotion of an object to an intransitive subject. This is also the removal of the transitive subject. Most languages don't need a special morphological marking for the verb, but some do. In English, verbs like change, break, and grow are best for this as they can be either intransitive or transitive verbs. In the example below, you can see that um, the object, the future, becomes the intransitive subject in the middle voice sentence as which also causes the transitive subject, the smallest person, to be removed. There is also, to be more specific, there is a different middle voice, which is anti-causalization, which removes a core argument or the cause of an event, which changes the meaning of the sentence as now the event has occurred without any particular cause for it. Here's an example from Yagua. The third singular morpheme sa indicates that there is a cause for the action, but once the middle voice morpheme y is added to the verb, it is removed. No, it is removed so that there is no cause, leaving the object to become an intransitive subject. Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching this, and I hope this was informative for you.